We're good? Yeah, we're good. You are live.
We're live?
I think so. That's what it says.
Should go out here quick.
Before you start talking.
Yep, I talk too much.
Yes. It's not typing now, it's talking.
I think we're a couple seconds before we were supposed to start.
Yeah, we started a little earlier, but that's okay. It's different because we were just in a live typing a lot.
Now we get to sit back and talk.
Talk, no typing, which is not too bad.
Which is kind of nice. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Glad you guys could make it tonight. The last couple, well, the first one we did was totally just like spur of the moment, and the other one was kind of the same way.
So. Well, we haven't like tied down a certain day up to this point. It's kind of, we did Monday, then we did Wednesday, now it's Tuesday. Well, no, we started on Tuesday, didn't we?
I don't remember.
Anyways, we're getting a little bit better at giving notice ahead of time.
We're trying to plan ahead a bit better. But like you say, we haven't quite figured out what days.
Yeah.
The best or what time. We've kind of picked the 9 because by the time we usually get done doing everything else,
and the kids go to bed,
then we're kind of good. But we know it's a little later too, so it's Hello.
Hey Tracy. Oh. So how are you guys tonight? Everybody over the Christmas craziness?
We're almost over. You can see we still have our tree.
Yeah, the tree's going out to the wild birds tomorrow.
Yep, that's the plan. We always end up taking it out and we put it beside the bird feeders, and then
they use it until spring.
Well, it stays green for the whole winter, and they use it as cover, and which works out. Which actually is not a bad thing because was it not tonight, the night before? So was that 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
We were out we were doing chores, just about put everything away, and the chickens were at the back of the barn, and we had a goshawk come like right to the back door of the barn.
I had to scare him. He was on top of the chicken, and I had to scare him away. And it wasn't. I didn't scare him very well.
Well, it took him a bit. He wasn't. Well,
yeah.
He was thinking food and dinner, but
she got away.
So, yeah. So the wild, the wild birds can take advantage of the tree when we're done with it. It's kind of another purpose for it.
Oh, and you guys are feeding your tree to the chickens. I never thought of that. We eventually give it to the wild birds, and then we throw it in with the sheep.
Yeah, as long as
they clean it up,
because we leave it with the wild birds. As long as we get it before it gets warm and dries out, then the sheep still clean it right off.
A quiet Christmas is not a bad thing. I was saying, actually, we were shopping on Boxing Day. We went to get feed for the animals. No, it wasn't Boxing Day. It might have been Boxing. I don't know. Anyway, we went to get feed for the animals, and I was saying to the lady at the desk there that it was nice because it was actually a relaxed Christmas this year because we didn't get together with family and friends. It was just the close family, like kids and us, and it actually was quite relaxing. We still ate way too much, but that's okay. Yeah, exactly. And but no, it was nice, kind of quiet one for us. And then there's a really cute kitten sneaking through under the computer. I don't think she can fit through.
Hi, Cassie. Glad you made it. We planned ahead far enough.
Nothing wrong with the artificial tree. To be honest, this year I actually said we should just get an artificial one because it seemed the store that our local store, that's where we got our tree because, with the COVID stuff and that, nobody was going out and going to big things to get them. Anyways, I think they cut them down 2 months before Christmas because we got it in and we opened it up and just the needles were already falling off. It was horrible. And we were just like, oh.
Well, we've thought too, because we've got the property of planting some trees, plant 10 or 20 at a time, kind of staggered over a few years, and then
everywhere.
You've got the
I wobbled you. Sorry, there's kittens all running around. I'm trying to get one to show you.
But we kind of thought rather than at least that way you wouldn't cut them all down for Christmas trees, but you could go and cut your own after a few years. But we haven't got that far yet, and we may not be doing it this year because we had planned a tree order to get. The thing we really wanted was black elderberry from a local nursery, and unfortunately,
they were all out.
They were out, and
already.
I've been watching to kind of make sure, as soon as they were taking orders, and I still wasn't able to get them. So
yeah, I think that's going to be a reoccurring thing this year. Stuff being sold out if you don't get on it quickly.
But in kind of the spirit of what we were hoping to talk about a little bit, we did manage to get our order in for our raspberries, because we ordered 150 Killarney raspberry plants, and that order went through. So
they took our money, so I guess it's good.
But we're looking forward to that, because that's something everybody likes. Raspberries, and we'll do better than we've done in our blueberries, although they're still alive.
Oh. The snow we had. Oh, you're expecting another round as well. We have Cassie and Guten also mentioned about the snow. We had a a rainy, horrible Christmas.
Yeah, it rained.
It was like pouring rain, and there was no snow whatsoever. And it was about 8 o'clock Christmas Eve night, wasn't it, that it changed to snow?
Yep.
And we woke up Boxing Day morning to probably 4 or 5 inches. Mm-hmm. Of snow again, and it snowed all Boxing Day, and then we had the one day that it was +5 and raining, and it kind of drizzled down a little bit, and then I'm missing people to say hi to. Yeah, I mean to say hi to everybody. I'm going back up here. Native and Devout Preppers, hi! Thank you for coming by. I did see you, and where are we here? It's hard to read everybody's, and then and Chris Dixon, hi, nice to see you in our live here. We have lots of and so Tomorrow Day's got lots of raspberries. We have lots of black raspberries, blackberries, and black raspberries.
We've got wild black raspberries that we're going to propagate a bit, and then we've got huge patches of wild blackberries. But we have a few wild raspberries, but not a lot. So we wanted to have a bigger patch right up by the house. So we ended up actually we got them from
Chicken Johnny.
It's called Strawberry Thyme.
We've never ordered from them, right?
No, they're Ontario.
Oh, are they? Okay.
We've never ordered from them before, but
I got one.
We'll try it, and we'll let everybody know how it goes. One of 4 kittens.
One of them kittens. Yes.
But
if you have red raspberries, we'll be on our way.
we have a little patch.
We have a little bit.
We have a few of the wild red raspberries.
Now you're stuck to me.
Mostly the birds get them because they're kind of scattered throughout the property. And then we've got our.
She's a tabby.
Yeah, this one's not like the other ones.
She's a little brownie orange tabby. Sorry, I'm answering. No,
she's got kitten things to do.
I'll show you another one. Everybody's coming for their claim to fame.
Nope.
Oh, nope. She doesn't want her claim to fame either. This is Licorice. There, you show them your cuteness, huh?
They're busy.
Yeah, they don't want to be on camera, I guess. It's a long drive. It is a long drive, Tracy. But you know what? We could always probably find a pig to buy or something else up that way.
That's how we plan any traveling. We always look and see if there's something.
Yeah.
I hit the wrong one. It moved on me.
It moves as people, yeah.
I didn't know there was white raspberries, to be honest. We have some yellows.
Yeah.
Kind of
early golden. Early golden is what they're.
We ended up planting them together because we had 3 or 4 ands, and we just decided we'll put them all together.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they do.
Well, they did pretty good last year. The kids ate lots of them.
Yeah, we actually got a few off of them.
Yeah,
which is kind of nice.
So,
but we'll have to look into the white ones. I've never even heard of them. Oh, the
kitty proof container.
Well, you may have to do this because it's on the wrong side for me. But that actually it's
so
worked
far
really well. Where we have it, it's actually in our bathroom, right beside the tub, and it's kind of up on, I don't know what you call it. It's not a shelf, so it's even higher. And they haven't even paid attention to it.
No, they haven't tried. Good. We do need to still do the tin foil around it, though. Hi, Laurie's World. Just to keep it, because we are noticing that even now the plants are reaching for the light.
A little bit. We knew that. We just didn't do it at the time. But.
We're in typical Steph and Chris fashion of not, having big plans, and the execution's always really slow.
Hi, Laurie's World.
Yeah, it's Ann Yellow. That's what we've got.
Yeah,
we have four Ann Yellow, and we have four Ann Yellows, and then the other 12 are early Goldens.
Early Goldens,
yeah.
They taste quite good. They're sweeter. I kind of would like to. They're a little more expensive, but
we talked about propagating them.
I'd like to propagate them and actually try making like a jam or jelly out of them. I think that's a few years off.
Yeah, unless you're going to buy a lot more, we're a long ways off from jam or jelly.
And we kind of decided we'd go with we're only getting sort of one big fruit crop to plant this year. We do the raspberries because next year we'll get something back from them. We still might. We don't have any big plans for fruit trees or anything like that at the moment. But
no,
that'll probably change.
Well, we're just kind of hoping with the red raspberries, we're going to hopefully eventually have two nice thick 50-foot rows. That's kind of the goal.
And then from there,
long term,
if we can propagate them and transplant some into our food forest area or whatever, we will. But, we probably could grow them in the food forest, but we're kind of reluctant to because if we had to tend them or take water to them or whatever, for this year, since we are purchasing them, we just figured it might be easier.
Everything we kind of said with the food forest, we're everything that we're bringing in right now, we're planting close to home where we can look after it well. Not that the food forest is that far from home; it's like 200 feet from the barn.
No, but it's not always. It's not right where you're
walking by it every day and checking it. But then when we get to the point where we can propagate things and move them out and kind of expand, that's when we'll really kind of just start filling the food forest. It's like the grapes out there in the food forest. There's so many wild grapes. We just need to give them the trellises and things to grow on. So that's sort of where we've
got some plans for that.
Yeah,
get them up on some trellises and such.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of, it feels like there's always so much, but it's like that slow progression, and then you.
That's funny, Cassie.
That's all right. We, I don't know, a lot of our sort of normal house plants have kind of succumbed to the cats.
Yes, yeah.
They really are aloes. That's actually something that we have a plan to kind of consolidate what we have left of our aloe vera and try to propagate it a bit because we kind of want some, because it's useful. The cats eat so much of it, and they don't just nibble at it; they destroy it.
Yeah, the aloe and the spider plant, it doesn't matter what we do to them.
The spider plant, they kind of come in waves.
They
times where they
they prune it. They don't really kill it. They prune it.
But the aloes, they just destroy.
So,
we're going to be building an aloe cage to grow our aloes in the house.
Yeah. But so yes, your name here is about our. So sorry, let's go up first here. So Laurie,
we're slowly working our way
through the chat. We want to make sure we don't miss anybody's stuff. So the seed info, and I also wanted to say too, I mean, I'm glad that the sheep info that we sent to you there helped a little bit with some decision making. I hope you guys eventually go for it though, because
it's one of those things we could have talked about that for a while.
Yeah, so it was very hard email to write back to you and keep it sort of concise.
Consolidated and not a huge novel.
Because it's a love-hate relationship with our sheep, that's for sure. We're going this one. Our next big project, I'm guessing you're talking about our little food forest effort here, which was supposed to be a big project this year, and we just kind of put it on the back burner because we realized after we planted the cherries and had a bit of a...
It was when we got to... I think what the stumbling block was when we moved in, we thought it was good. We knew it's sandy, but we thought it was going to stay moister. And we had that bit of a drought. It wasn't really called that, but for all intents and purposes, it was a drought. Kind of was that July and August. And that was really hard on anything that wasn't established. So we lost a few things, but we kind of need to build the soil, and so we're in the processes of doing that in a few areas down there right now. Our method's more or less to use some of the manure compost that we produce from the cows and
This one has to have his turn in the spotlight.
Photo bombing.
Yeah, photo bombing with the cat.
Or live bombing.
Live bombing with the kitten.
So yeah, that'll be an ongoing project, I think. But we do have some. I don't know if there'll be big projects, but we do have some planned for inside too, which will be good.
We're hoping
we have the same problem.
They're still in black totes. I don't know if you ever saw our blueberries that were in the black totes. Well, the blueberries, half of them are still in the black totes this winter, and our grapes are still in the black totes. The vines grew all out of them, and they're still in the black totes.
They survive. If they don't, we'll replace them. But
what were they? They were interlocking.
Interlaken.
I say locking. It depends. I'm going to sound Scottish or something. I don't know.
We're looking forward to them. We just get that part. It's just normal.
It is. Sorry, I'm clicking on one so that we talk to you about them.
We are planning to do some videos on our planning.
Yes. And Cassie, I will also say, if you have not subscribed to Guten Gardening, you should check him out.
Yes, because you would really like the smaller space gardening. They're doing some.
Not just Cassie. Everybody, if you have not subscribed to Guten Gardening, you should. We don't miss one of his videos. We have learned so much from him.
I think we're one behind. I think somehow we just missed one.
We watched the most recent and we missed one, but anyway.
We will go back. but
we are planning to do some, just videos going through planning for what we're going to plant. We've been slowly kind of buying up seeds because there is that great concern about the seeds not being available.
We didn't film it because we've actually got to go through and do a sort, but the room that we're storing our seeds in, we put up our shelf tonight. This is our problem in the house. Since moving here, we have a big house, but we don't have a lot of shelf space, and we have a lot of stuff. Useful stuff, but between jars and some of your quilting fabrics and everything's still in boxes on the floor piled up, and it's hard to work around it.
Yes.
And so anyways, we're going through this one little room, and we put up our shelf and we kind of unboxed a bunch of our seeds. So we started sorting, but didn't quite see it through tonight.
No. Well, once it's sorted, Chris is going to do a walkthrough of our seed catalog from home. Yeah. Basically, and I keep saying to him he should really start up a little seed collaboration group in Canada here and whatnot.
Well, we were actually just in another.
He's got a lot of seeds.
We were in another live earlier, and mostly people from the U.S. and they're doing a seed exchange. But we kind of looked into it, and oddly, without going into it in too much detail, to send things from the U.S. to Canada doesn't seem to be a big deal, but to send seeds the other way seems to be a bit harder. So, yeah, we should start something up in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Miles.
Hello.
But yeah, we definitely want to do something on that, and also just kind of goals of what we would like to be growing sort of this year. As for the fish in the pond, sorry, I'm going up. The fish in the pond, no, there's not fish. Well, there's probably like little crayfish or whatever.
There isn't any fish in the pond because this is me coming with my biology background. The pond's fishless, but it is used by salamanders and frogs to spawn in.
And there's one turtle.
Well, there's one Midland painted turtle, but we assume he's still there. He might have left, but. Yeah, we've got blue spotted salamanders, western chorus frogs, spring peepers, gray tree frogs, American toads. There's a few green frogs, a few northern leopard frogs. We haven't found any. I'm sure there's eastern newts or eastern spotted newt. I always forget. They're complex. So we don't want to destroy that natural aspect of it. None of that stuff is rare, but if we put fish in, that'll essentially make that they can't use it for that purpose. So we're going to leave that.
And it does dry right down. Like this year it went down to about 5 feet deep only. In the springtime, you're more like 12 feet deep, or more. But in this year with our dry season, it did dry up quite a bit. So I don't know how that would affect fish either, and I'm not planning to pump water into it.
Well, yeah, we
Pump
just
water out of it to water the food forest, maybe, but
yeah, we're gonna leave it like what it is, I think, for now, which kind of feeds into something we've not talked about a lot, but sort of working with things a bit.
mhm.
But great. I know we've chatted before, and I know you grow a lot of microgreens, Miles. We've not grown a lot of them, but we are thinking about it. So the pea shoots, actually, we watched Guten Gardening's video today
about the peas,
and I don't know why I didn't know you could do that with peas. And it's like that's a great one because you could get the multiple cuts out of them, which
and we have bags of them.
Well, yeah, we do have quite a few, so we may try it. We that's one of our plans is a grow space for sort of cooler weather.
Hi from Zero to
greens
Homestead.
that we can maybe grow in the basement. So the radishes is another thing I've been thinking about. I didn't know how well that would work, but
and I'm going to this is going to be a momentary sort of geared towards Canadians here, but I'm seeing quite a few of you saying you would be up for that, the seed exchange. So I think we should organize that because there's this big thing going on in the States right now with, I can't think of what the channel's name is, and they were just talking about it in Simply Jan's Behead's seed exchange, seed swap, the great seed swap. But I don't know if you've looked into this, Lori or Tracy or anybody, but we've looked up the whole thing about shipping seeds to the U.S. and you can, as long as the U.S. person who's receiving them gets a permit, apparently, and as long as there's not more than 50 seeds in a bag, and they have to be properly labeled and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't seem as big of an issue for us to get seeds from the States, but for us to send seemed to be a trouble, and that's where we kind of were like, well, we can't participate in this. So we thought maybe we should do a big Canada seed swap, especially since we're already seeing a lot of seeds not available in stores. So, or not in stores, on the online purchasing. The heirloom seeds are what's really flying off. I think everybody is into that right now because you can save seeds from that, which is something we've been doing for years. So I'm definitely we're going to look into this and do a video because I think we should do it. I think we should. It'd be a great thing. I don't know how to work out what the rules are, not rules, but yeah, I think the one in the States, they're exchanging, you send 3 types of seeds. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If anybody knows, let me know about that. But
do some digging and figure something out.
Yeah, we'll look into that because I think we should do one for the spring here. So we're going to do that. Let's keep going down here. So
we're a little behind.
We're always a bit behind. So this is going back to the pond and about maintaining natural balance. And that's something that we really want to focus on in our food forest, which is now.
It's more than the food forest. So
I know it's everywhere.
This is going off of what our topic really is, but
we're supposed to be talking about growing stuff now.
The organic way that this is going to evolve today or tonight. But it's kind of everything. Like we have to change the environment to grow the food and the animals and whatnot that we have, but it's kind of finding that balance. Like we talk about it all the time with the bigger animals. Like we could grow like 20 cows on this property if we wanted to, but that would be all you would have, and you would basically destroy everything.
Yeah,
and we would rather leave pockets, and I don't know how to sum it all up because it kind of fits into that silvopasture stuff. It kind of fits. We're
working with nature
between a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah, because we don't want to.
And it's amazing because we're bird centric often, but in the immediate area, the birds that come here is astronomical. And it's because, and we're not even in an area that's all that developed. Like we do have our immediate neighbor on the one side and two properties over is tilled corn and soybean crops, but they're not. It's not a big operation.
No, he'd be maybe 200. Well, he might be 300 acres.
All said and done, yeah. But it's not compared to some areas.
But then he's the only real big, what I would call a cash cropper around us.
And then the others are more cattle, and then and there's us.
Us with a little bit of everything in the middle, and a whole lot of birds.
Yeah, and other things.
Yeah, I know, and other things. But I think Yeah, I think it'd be nice to develop it and still keep it natural, like we have all the shagbark hickory trees, which we actually have gone and collected nuts on. Now this year was a little tricky to find any that the squirrels hadn't gotten because there was so many squirrels. But you know, that's again, I guess it goes into whatever. Squirrels need to eat too, so I suppose it's fine. Keeps them out of our bird feeders.
Nah, unfortunately, we don't have too many of the red squirrels. Which is
no, it's all big ones. So going back to the pea shoots, I definitely think we should try it.
Yeah, we did a little bit of reading after watching your video too, and it sounds like you can use quite a few different kinds of peas.
Yeah.
Not that we wouldn't really have any preference, but I don't know. Just sound like that's something for us to. The other side of it is
these were the speckled peas.
Yeah,
and we looked up, and it looks like the black-eyed peas are also same thing. You could do them and start the shoots. So
and there were some others, but
yeah,
we kind of like the idea of on the microgreen side of it, if it's something that we could hypothetically produce enough seed in a year to obviously replant and grow your microgreens from, that would be probably the most ideal for us.
We're trying to work out what size of patch we need to grow in the summer to be able to provide all the peas in the winter.
Like we like broccoli sprouts, for example, when we've had them in the past, but
yeah,
we've never had a lot of success with harvesting broccoli seeds yet.
Well, another thing that we really enjoy is the sunflower sprouts.
Yeah, that's another one that's pretty good.
Hi, Grace Family Homestead, or Amy. Long time no see. But yeah, we've done it in the past with the sunflowers, and then this year has just been, well, I don't know. Our grow lights have been running all winter so far, and we're really not growing much.
Well, it's not.
So we've got to get going on that.
We've got to optimize it some, and we need to purchase some more bulbs or fixtures.
Yeah. Going to, I'm going to pick on Guten Gardening here for a moment, but do you use the LED lights for your thing? We're trying to figure it out because our old lights, we have all the old fluorescent bulbs because that's what we had. And we're trying to debate on whether it's actually worth it to spend the money to switch to the LEDs. Because it is quite a huge price tag to switch to them.
I think it's one of those things where you will get the benefit in your power bill.
Yeah, the hydro bill, but yeah.
Well, the other thing that, and this is getting kind of technical too, but we were trying to figure out, because what we would like to do is kind of grow on shelves, just because of the space we have. But we're trying to figure out like how many we need, because I know with the normal fluorescent tubes, oftentimes to get good growth from them, like we usually use like 4-foot chop light fixtures, so we often needed like 4 bulbs, maybe 6 even, depending on the, like your light fixtures kind of one next to another to get enough intensity to actually make it work. So if the LEDs are better,
you might be able to use less bulbs.
Well, that's just, we're really not sure. But
oh, Will It Grow has a video on it. We should definitely check it out. I think that's going to kind of be the decision made. We've been doing some research for some online ordering of a couple bulbs, and I think the LED, I think we'll just switch.
Well, my biggest thing is I know it's not crazy technology, but technology changes all the time. So you figure one thing out,
and then
you're switching to something else. So I'm kind of at that phase of like, okay, what light, what bulb, what fixture's the best?
Well, and then you've got the new ones that have these little like dot LEDs too.
There's so many different.
Anyways, hi Paragon Ridge.
We definitely we like the shagbark.
Yes.
Miles. We've got that's actually, I don't know if too many people know this, but that's where our name came from, Hickory Croft, because at our old place
we had shagbark
hickories, and we actually harvested a lot of nuts from them. And what's really nice about it when we moved here, I think we've taken a few videos of it at some point, but
yeah, they don't show as well because they're so big here that we see them all.
The shagbark hickory that's kind of to the east of our barn, so the back end of our barn, it's a monster, which is awesome. And there's a little like grove of them, which so the name still works
this
here.
name works here, exactly. And the other thing, actually, an interesting thing, which we haven't tried yet, but the people who used to live here, they made syrup from the bark. They made the shagbark, the hickory syrup, which we have not. I watched a YouTube video on it, but we haven't actually tried it yet. So I think I would like to try, because we've got to have 50 shagbark trees on the whole property.
Oh, no, there's a lot more than that.
Okay, well, there's more than that. But anyways, there's 50 that are big, and you could definitely...
And that's one of the trees in our food forest area. I think we're just going to let it happen naturally because the shagbarks are so close. But now we haven't actually tagged them. I'm going to do that this winter. We're going to put flagging tape on them so we don't run them over with something at some point in time. But we've got quite a few seedlings coming up. So if they're in an area that works for our paths and that, we're going to leave them, which I mean most of them do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and there's a lot of really nice big ones, but I definitely think we should try that and try the hickory syrup.
Yeah, so one more thing to try.
Yeah,
but
I think you should definitely do a video on the lights. Newton, I'm going to also check out. Amy mentioned Microfarmer also has one with the Grow light screw-in bulb, which we also have two. Well, that's kind of like what's above our stevia right now, is one grow-in bulb.
It's working pretty good on the stevia. Because we only planted that last. It's not that long ago.
A week? No, it was right before Christmas.
Yeah, so it was right before Christmas. And since repotting it, like it's all of them have started to grow, which is They kind of we took those clones a long time ago, and they grew roots, but they kind of just didn't do a lot. And might have been we didn't look after them as well as we should have, but
but they had quite the root system underneath, so that's what counts.
Yeah, and we're just hoping we can get.
It wasn't the stevia that we had cut wasn't to keep growing stevia to use. It was just to keep them alive long enough to make new cuttings for spring. That was kind of the plan, and so far they're doing really, really well with it. So
I have a question since you've used both. Because I thought about this too with the shop light setup. Do you think this is more of a cost thing than an actual performance thing? But do you think there's any benefit to running? Because you can put two lights in it. This is me just totally overthinking something.
Oh, you're going to put one LED and one regular?
Yeah, because hypothetically it should work, and then as the regular bulbs wear out, you could sort of switch to the LEDs and then have maybe a stagger. I just don't know if that would be too hard on the ballast. I don't know much about electrical stuff, so I'm just kind of going with it's the same fixture, the light's designed for it. It should work. I don't know. I was just kind of curious. Maybe you've tried something similar.
See, Paragon Ridge does the LED shop lights as well, which ours are like the plug-in shop light, but they've always had the old fluorescent bulbs because that's what we had. We bought them in bulk, but we're getting to the point now that enough of them have burnt out. We're going to have to order, and I think from what we understand, you can swap out the LEDs in exchange. It's still the same fixture. So we're just kind of trying to figure out the best way to move forward and do it. But we love the shop lights for sure, and we put the tin foil on the insides of them so that it reflects, and
it helps.
It helps a little bit.
The old bulbs, I don't know if it would help as much with the LEDs,
but yes, and
we're getting better with it. We're gonna try to come up with some ways. That's why we want to in the basement. We want to do the shelf system because we think we can enclose it a bit better to sort of keep the light in and still have some ventilation. The room would probably work well too. I think it'd be harder for us down there right now to set it up that way, so we're probably going to try the shelves.
Yes, another project on the go, setting up something downstairs for a grow room.
Oh, no worries, Amy. We'll probably be here for a bit.
Yeah.
We have a tendency to talk a lot. So.
But I'm glad you stopped in anyways. That's great. But no, the stevia syrup, I probably could. I wouldn't be able to do it till next year now because I don't have any fresh.
A lot, yeah.
You probably could make it with the dried because we dried a lot, but we're going through it really quickly.
Yeah, you dried a lot of it. And it worked quite well. But
I like Cassie's one. How do we keep track of all our projects? We don't. That's the problem.
What's really funny is today.
We filmed our video for the 31st.
So I think it was in August we did a like a to do or farm goals for the rest of the year.
Yeah, it was a collaboration type thing.
Yeah, that's a ways back. And so on the last day of the year, we're gonna put that video up. We went around and we basically went back and watched that video and made a list on paper of all the things that we did do and the things that we didn't do. And then we have another column that's these are the things that we didn't even have planned that we actually did do. So
yeah,
it kind of, I don't know, we probably were less than 50% of what we had set out to do we actually did. But then when you factored in the jobs that we weren't planning to do or that we kind of changed a bit.
Yeah. But
we actually did pretty good.
And it's surprising when you go around the checklist, exactly, when you go around and look at it after. We're glad that we went and filmed a wrap up to that one, to go around and look at what we had achieved, what we didn't achieve, because it does put it into perspective how much we actually did get done. Even though we didn't get all of it done, which we know is never. I think I said in the video that you make a list that's a mile long and you kind of hope you're going to get 40% done of the list, because that's
if you factor
realistic.
If you factor in the changes, we probably hit that.
Yeah, it's like on the list for us was getting the rest of our raised beds made in time to be able to
get the soil
in before it froze. But we didn't do that. Instead, we built a greenhouse. So it kind of is like win-win,
Yeah.
So we still have the garden beds on the list, but we did something else that was still quite productive. So we kind of still feel good about it.
Yeah, and at the time we weren't even thinking about doing it.
No, at the time we hadn't even.
I think we just woke up one day and kind of went, we have all this stuff sitting here.
Let's build a greenhouse.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what we do.
Yeah. Tracy says, "Oh, the lists, yes. Oh, the lists, indeed."
Well, that's something.
Good, you were supposed to. Yeah, nobody ever checked in on our progress, so that's why we're going to blame it on all of our subscribers and our viewers, because nobody said, "Hey, did you guys get that done?" Because that's what we'd said. Make sure you say to us so that we have to keep doing it, because we published it live.
But it's nice to have that too, right? Because then you can see what you did. You can I'm sitting here having trouble remembering when I did the stevia, which was not that long ago, and you actually have that record of within a day or two, depending on when you did your editing and stuff, that hey, we actually did this around this time, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, well, and I think the other part that's kind of good about the YouTube stuff, I think, is we can go back and look at like what Yarning's saying there, where you're so close to it that you don't see it. When we go back occasionally and watch some of our first videos, and that's only, how long have we been doing this now? 4 months? Not quite 5 months. We go back and look at some of the beginning ones, and you see things in the yard. They're like that, there's stuff there that wasn't there before, or things like that, and it does.
You actually feel good that you did accomplish stuff.
So the YouTube video making is awesome for that. Really recording your achievements and everything, because you don't necessarily see them until you go back and watch it again and go, wow, we did all that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So we don't have a video on that yet.
But we have 2 more at least to build.
Yeah, so we were going to go through it. There may not be the best design, but originally we were going for pretty.
Yeah, we were going for kind of pretty, because we built them at our old place,
and
they were right in the front yard where everybody could see as they drove by.
We built them sturdy enough that we were able to bring them with us, and we didn't disassemble them. We
literally
just took the dirt out,
them 8 feet up on the trailer, and
and brought them. It was kind of very redneck looking, but
going down the road with all our raised beds.
We're really glad that we did bring them, but.
Yeah, the raised beds, I definitely think we're going to keep going. We've got kind of you probably could see it in some of our videos where we show the view from the loft and you're looking down. we have a pretty little, almost English garden pattern that we're trying to do with them. So we've got 2 more to build, and then we're probably going to build more because I imagine the raspberries are going to go in a raised bed
That's
of
going to
some
be a different
description.
one, but yeah, more just to have a border because we do want to be able to mow around it, and then you kind of have your jumping around. But for the raspberries, we want to be able to mow around it and kind of have that border that when you go to transplant, you kind of know, okay, when this starts to get full, we can take out of here. That's me probably trying to be a little too orderly.
Wow. And there's something nice about doing it pretty because you look at it all the time and there's that element of pride. I mean, we did all the cattle panel archways and everything, and they don't look like much when there's nothing on them. But once you get the peas and the beans and everything growing up them and making the pretty arch, it really does look like something amazing. So,
well, it's a good use of the space too because you're getting it.
See you, Tracy. Thank you very much for popping into the live, and we'll see you again and catch up on videos and such.
Yes, thank you. No, it's good that you're watching that.
But no, I mean, well, we're in a spot with our gardens that nobody else sees them except for us and people who come in the yard. You can't see our place from the road, so it's kind of, we're doing everything just for ourselves now. But there's still that element of wanting it to look pretty.
To a point.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting a little better at just cobbling something together and going with it.
Yes, well, and using up scraps that we have, especially this year with the price of things and stuff. It's kind of a case of making do with whatever's around.
Between what
oh, sorry.
So we don't full on have an inventory. We kind of just have a lot of stuff.
And we do, and we've been collecting it for so long.
Well, we brought a lot of stuff with us, and then there was a lot of stuff here, like when we did the sheep barn, like exactly like you say, the tin has been moved around.
No, yeah, but the walls, the trusses were all here.
Yeah, and that's
we
part
found
of why
them around dug them out of
the
trusses we dug out of the riding ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the previous owners had. It must have been a barn that they salvaged or a shed that they'd salvaged.
Yeah.
They're not in the best of shape, but I mean, they'll definitely last for purpose for the size of the building that we constructed. But
yeah, I think it went quite well, and it didn't cost a whole lot, which was what we were hoping to go for. And I mean, like now, a lot of the buildings and things that we have around here, we did buy majority of the stuff when we had them at our old place, and we just either dismantled them to bring or that sort of thing. But the amount of stuff here that I shouldn't say I whined about the previous owners leaving it and all this stuff lying around, and we were going to have to burn wood, we were going to have to get rid of stuff.
Well,
and we've actually made really good use of it.
We've never really shown it, but we've got now they're old and they are starting to rot out, but garden ties. There's got to be, 40 of them?
Oh, yeah, at least 40 garden ties.
That they had stacked, again, I don't know what they were planning to do with them, but they had stacked them up on the hill, and they were essentially buried under leaves. And we did take some really rotten wood, and we're composting that now. But so we're looking at that going, well, that'll build us quite a few low raised beds. Like that's probably what we'll use for the
and they had
the raspberries.
They had looks like what would have been an old floor in a barn, maybe. They're old cut wood, the 2 by 10-inch boards, and they had them stacked, and we've been using them to make our blueberry beds because a 10-inch nice raised bed is perfect. We just cut off any bits that were kind of and
even if they're a little bit rotten, it's not the end of the world.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So
the way we're doing it, because they just kind of sit there and expect to harvest them.
Yeah, but it's nice because as we start using up these things, we start going, the yard's cleaning up. It looks so much better. Now there's snow covering everything, so we're kind of at a standstill until that's over. But it's not too bad. Even in the barn, we've managed to repurpose most of the stuff. Like Nikki's stall was all done with repurposed stuff. And
yeah, actually, we never really have. I think we've shown it, but we never really walked through that. We built that when we got the barn. We'll do a thing of it because it'll make more sense. But when you come into the front of the barn, there's Nikki's big stall, and then there's the stairs, which we built this year. which I wouldn't have been able to do by myself.
No.
But then there's another little stall in behind there, and that whole end of the barn before you get to the sort of the main stall section, there was nothing in there.
Yeah.
So we have kind of, since moving here, refurbished, repaired, replaced all of that. And, and like you say, most of it's been material that we've either was here or we brought with us. So we're not doing bad. We still have to buy things every now and then to make projects work.
You didn't say she only had 0.05 acres.
Yeah, but you can still do a lot with
I know.
space.
I know. She needs to watch Goot and Gardening.
Well, I see that he's got a comment too that is similar, but I don't know. There's a double-edged sword to larger properties, for sure, because the bigger you get, the harder it gets to manage it. Like we're kind of stuck in we like having the big property because of the animal side of it.
Yeah,
because it's almost like there's a term for that. It's in permaculture where you kind of have zones. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but you have I'm going to use the term zone. You have your zone, so you have your zone like close to the house, and that's your most intensive things that require the most care, which is kind of exactly what we just were talking about. And then you go out and you go out and you go out, and so for us, like the bulk of our property is either going to be left completely natural, in which case you're mostly foraging, which is great too. It's another aspect of homesteading. We always go back to this over and over again. There's so many interconnected things that often go by different names that all kind of fit under this one umbrella. But really, for us, the reason why we went with such a big property was because we wanted to do a lot of stock. And so, that's quite far out in your zone of your permaculture planning.
Yeah. Our garden space is an eighth of an acre, isn't it? The I'm not counting the raised bed, but might not even be an eighth of an acre.
And we're planning to very much. Yes, we're going to expand on some gardens, but we're really trying to focus quite a bit on a small area. So we always say it, like we love watching the smaller space gardening because it's kind of, with a few exceptions, I mean, some of the big root crops that take like, mangoes and stuff, like, you can't really do that in a super small space. No. But we want to consolidate that as much as we can to try to keep it manageable.
Well, and we've made this is where I really want a drone. I need a drone for my birthday. Okay, I want a drone for my birthday. That's all I want for my birthday is a drone.
We'll get one. That'll be your goal when we get to 500.
Yeah, 500 subscribers, and I can get a drone.
Well, say 600. We get 600 okay. Subscribers.
600 subscribers, I can get a drone. But it would be great to just show the aerial of our property because we really have built it that it is. We're surrounded by our livestock. Their pastures are the priority really for our land. That was anything that was usable for them has been developed into pastures, which means other than the apple trees, which are out in the pastures, it is a case that we have a very small area. It's like I keep saying to Chris, because he keeps buying all these trees and fruit trees. I'm like, where are you putting those? Because the animals are there and they're going to eat them. So we've got a very small area around the house to actually work with for that sort of stuff. And then we have the food forest, which we're not sure how to tackle yet. But it is one of those things of learning to develop that area to its maximum potential.
Yeah,
I think
it'll come.
Yeah.
Well, we keep coming up with plans. It's like the gardening planning. If we had tracked what we were thinking we were going to do last winter versus what we did this summer, as far as where things were in the layouts and that, it would have been like completely different. And so it'll be interesting this year because we've got a lot more established now, whereas last year we didn't have the garden sitting where they were going to go. No. So we have some more to work with, but it'll be interesting to kind of go through that planning and then, see how did we keep going in that direction? Did we change direction? Like how did we?
They're all going to remind you that I need a drone. March 29th, that's my birthday. So end of March, we need a drone.
And 600 subscribers.
And 600 subscribers. That'll be okay. We'll get there. We're doing all right. So I think we'll get there. But yes, I didn't know this part of your story that you were going without trying to buy produce. That's kind of interesting.
That's impressive.
Yes. Well, we noticed it because you're getting a lot growing inside for the winter, which I think is awesome. And so that's kind of neat. I'd like to get there. We would like to get there. We do a lot of canning, but I still like the fresh stuff in the.
Well, that's for us right now. That's the big thing is the greens, because for our indoor growing, outside of what you're starting for the next garden season, like tomatoes and all those sort of transplants, we really want to get going on, and we've had this on our list for 2 years, and we never seem to get there. But we want to produce more greens, because that's the one. It's probably the best use of the indoor space.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whether it's microgreens or whether it's lettuce or. And right now we've got some red Russian kale.
It was supposed to go out in the greenhouse, but then we didn't get the greenhouse done in time. So it's growing in big pots in the basement. And maybe Guten Gardening, you can recommend a better kale for growing inside, because we love kale. We love it for salads and everything. But the red Russian is too tall. I mean, we have to have such a gap between our lights and the buckets. And there must be a dwarf version or something that you've maybe tried. That might
work a little better.
Yeah, going back to the produce thing, but yeah, that would be something for us. I think is trying to get that. Now, one thing that we're missing that we don't have this year is the dairy.
Well, yeah,
like because we've got rid of the goats and got cows, but we are at the point now where the cows do not produce us dairy until probably 2021. 2022, right? Because they'd have their babies in 2022.
Yes, you're right.
So we've been not buying dairy product for years. And this year we're buying dairy product, and we're noticing, number one, it doesn't taste as good. Yeah. But, I mean, it is an expense that we didn't have before. Yeah. So that's something that for us, we need to get back into. But the produce aisle is something that we can work on this year. Skipping the produce aisle for sure. So we've got some lettuce started. It's gone really leggy because, of course, we started it before we were set up and ready. So we probably will.
With the plans of, well, actually, you brought some in from outside because you saved it from getting frosted.
Yeah, I dug it up right out of the raised beds because I was worried it wasn't going to make it. Hi, Hollaby Homestead. But we did. So I brought in. I had a big bed full of lettuce. I'd done it in really nice, neat rows, and the chickens went in and dug it all up and made it all go all into big bunches of lettuce. So I dug that up and brought it in pots, and it's actually did all right for a bit and then went really leggy.
Well, we're going to eat it here.
So we're going to eat it, but I started a second batch. So hopefully in the next couple of days, we're going to get that planted to get it into
a bit better growing situation.
Yeah, to get something set up for that, so that the lettuce is one of those ones that we really wanted to try and get going, because we buy lettuce all the time because I like lettuce on sandwiches, even not necessarily for salads, but to have for sandwiches and small stuff like that. So the lettuce was a big one for us that as an expense we'd like to kind of cancel out over the winter.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah,
that's kind of our way of looking at it, I guess. And every year we get a little better. Like this year we're not there on the indoor growing stuff, but we did actually pretty good for our first year growing here outside. Next year should just be that much better.
I'm going back up to sorry, I'm going way back up in the chat here because I missed stuff. But Cassie mentioned that she's hoping to do a food forest strip, and I'm going to be really terrible because I know Cassie knows the person I'm talking about, but the guy in Toronto that does the permaculture food forest.
Canadian permaculture legacies?
He does, I'm sure you've watched his stuff, but he does great food forest little strips, which I think are fantastic. And that's how we'd like to kind of develop our food forest, is in little chunk sections, I guess you could say.
Well, and slowly over time, replace some of the stuff that's there with things that are more desirable.
Yeah.
For us, i.e. produce fruit or whatever.
Sorry, I'm going back through
That's one thing actually too, kind of go on the food forest topic. In our situation, we're not really starting it from scratch. Like there is some stuff in there that is edible, hickories, the wild grapes, you can get things from them. There's a lot of things that aren't edible, but I'm going to say this. in agriculture, and I know permaculture is not the same thing, but everybody's very quick to, like, we even had some comments about, like, get a bulldozer in, regrade it, this, that, whatever, and we're kind of like, no, we're going to do it slow.
Yeah, it'd be nice to kind of work with what we've got, but
even if you've got the steeper slopes, like, it's all vegetated right now. If we open that up, it's just going to make a mess, and I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right now, all the roots that are there are holding it in place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's settled where it's going to settle.
So even though we don't actually want the trembling aspen forest, we don't mind having the trembling aspen in the
we
forest.
can still use it for animal feed and for other things, and a little bit of firewood. Cassie also asked about if we have any perennial kales that we like in particular. We only grow red Russian kale. Doing gardening, I know there's so many kales out there, and they're all amazing.
But we've done that on purpose for the moment, because the red Russian is a different species than the other kales. Because I know most of the kales are, I'm never going to say this right. Is it Brassica oleracea, the same as like broccoli and that? So because of the crossing in that, because we would like to get to the point of producing seed, that was where the red Russian was nice, because we didn't have to worry about the crossing. Mm-hmm. So that's where I think too much on the front end.
Yes, Chris is always making sure we're growing stuff that doesn't cross, and he's very conscientious of the keeping seeds and keeping distances, and we are fortunate to have a property that we can keep multiple varieties and do the distances
of certain things.
Certain things, yeah. So it definitely makes sense. We're also now talking about doing, staggering some stuff so that you collect seeds from one thing one year and the other, and that way you don't
that's our big thing with the beet family, because the separation distance is astronomical. They're wind pollinated, so you might be able to do, like, we were going to toy around with maybe trying the Swiss chard in the greenhouse, so that it might go to seed early, but I don't really know how well that would actually work. But we've got plans of succession.
Try to do it, yeah.
Succession going.
Planting for seed saving. Well, this year we left out in the garden. We left the Swiss chard, and we left the red Russian kale. We left about 16 Swiss chard plants out there that hopefully next year will grow to be seed. And we probably left at least 30 to 40 kale plants.
Yeah, we'll still eat off of some of those,
and we can still lift the tarps and pick greens off of them, so that's not too bad, but we want them to still grow and go to seed next year to then collect up our seed. So
this will be our first year
doing biannual.
Yeah, really doing biannuals. We're getting pretty good at annuals.
Yeah, we collect a lot of.
We do,
collect a lot of seeds. Yes, Cassie put it there. The Canadian Permaculture Legacy. That's the one I was talking about. I think I love his setup. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to do that setup that he has, but he did an amazing job. I don't know if I'd go to the extreme of doing my pond that I can swim in and all that sort of stuff. But hey, each to their own. But I do think his gardening stuff.
Our pond's going to be different.
Our pond is going to be full of stuff I wouldn't swim with.
Salamanders and fairy shrimp.
We joke about getting one of those little the pedal boat things to go out there for the kids, but it's not that big actually.
They could paddle across it.
Yes. So yes, Cassie, starting from scratch. So what Saskatoon variety did you guys plant? I'm going to have to get back to you on that, because there was actually a name on it, but I don't remember.
On the Saskatoons, we did end up. There's multiple varieties.
Yeah. Northline.
I think Northline was one of them. So with the Saskatoons, we've been a little different than we are normally, and we went with multiple varieties. We got them cheap. Is basically we've every year for the last 3 years now, we've kept our eye open kind of at the end of the year.
For sales.
And oftentimes the Saskatoons that we've picked up are kind of sad looking, but we've picked them up for like half,
$3 to $5.
Yeah, for almost next to nothing.
Northline, yeah. Northline was the one.
And I'm not. I don't know that with Saskatoons. This is my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. I'm not sure if it makes as much difference on the varieties as say like the apple varieties do. And our plan is to let it go.
To me, Saskatoons all taste like Saskatoons. Like I grew up out west, and there were Saskatoons everywhere, and they all just taste like Saskatoons.
Well, and our plan is to try to let them go sort of feral and spread. That's why that's something we have actually put exclusively in the food forest. We put it on an area that actually it should do really well because it does like the drier areas. And I think we did our. Oh, I can't remember if we filmed it or not.
Which one was that?
But we got, that was something we didn't talk about. We got we did get our Saskatoons all planted, and we didn't lose any of the ones that were in the pots behind the house, which is good. But we did lose a couple that we planted. Was it last fall we planted them?
Yeah.
But I think that's because.
But some of them were sad that we dug them up from our old place.
They just didn't transplant that second time
very
well. So.
And they just didn't fare well in the wind.
But we've got to have close to 20 plants now.
Oh, I bet you there's more than 20. Wow. We planted 8. Anyways, there's 20 plus Saskatoon bushes, which we're hoping will just kind of spread. They did have Saskatoon berries on them this year, but we didn't pick them.
No, we just kind of left it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we ate 1 or 2.
Well, yeah, but it was kind of one of those things of letting them go, and hopefully between birds and everything else, they'll just seed them around the food forest is the plan or the hopes.
Yeah, and we'll slowly let them, we'll cut out some of the staghorn sumac and let them spread. Yeah. And that's the plan.
It'd be nice also to transplant a few of the like serviceberry, like the chokecherry or whatever the one is that we have at the back that we picked the berries from, because we made the chokecherry jelly this year and it was really good. Mm-hmm. So
that's a good foraging one too, though. Cause
that's true. There's a couple of them back there, but yeah, so a mini forest. Well, we're super impressed with the dwarf trees that you have there. Like the size of the fruit that came off of those was super impressive. I mean, I don't know how many apples that size a little tree can hold, but that was pretty impressive. And you could definitely put quite a bit of them into a smaller area. Mm-hmm. So I think that works well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We have a ton of apples here, but at the same time, I'm kind of tempted to try to track 1 or 2 down and put them up close to the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that'd be kind of neat.
No, we have the space around the house.
Rogue seed savers. Well,
seed saving is kind of one of those funny things, though, because you really run the gamut from you can get exceptionally technical with it, and I find almost to a degree when you get that technical, it's really discouraging because it almost seems impossible.
Well, or you feel restricted.
Extremely restricted.
Yes, it's like with the squash. We only grow 4 types of squash, because there's 4 varieties of squash, and then we don't have to worry about them crossing.
Well, yeah, 4 species.
Yeah.
But it also makes it easier because we've tried doing the hand pollinating and keeping them separate, and we've had issues with it. Like the Cuber Pepo species, they do better, but we've had years where we hand pollinate and don't get any viable seed from it. So we kind of did that for simplicity.
Yeah.
But we do have enough space. About that. We do have enough space that if we took and did a garden patch somewhere towards the back of the property, we could technically grow.
It would be survival of the fittest, though, because we're not watering or doing anything with them. It's just they're back there, and you hope they make it.
Yeah, and then that's where it kind of.
Because what did you say? It's 800 feet.
Something like that.
For them to be apart.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. So.
And then on the flip side, it's like the peppers. I think I forget what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be pretty far apart, but we've kind of we
did about the halfway.
Yeah, we spread them out as well as we can, and then we've clustered them so that we've had like some of the varieties we had like 10 to 15 plants together. Mm-hmm. So are they 100% pure? Good chance not, but hypothetically you should have enough of the same variety around itself. It may help. I don't know. Again,
hiya, Lori.
Getting a little technical, but
well, it's important things to know, and it's definitely good. I mean, I see Guten Yardening here. He just put up about that his squashes are always crossing, and whoops, it moved. There we are. And that's something that we were, like you said. I mean, it's if you have the ability to do it, it's a great thing to do. Like Chris and I, with the being able to put a plant at the back. So, that's kind of where we're going to go with it. But we're trying to keep things simple enough that you can actually achieve it all, which is, yeah. But anyways, we're going to go back up here to Lori. Don't have any fruit trees, but
you've definitely got space for
I was going to say, you do have space. I mean, you've got a great setup there, and the raised beds and everything.
You should look into, if you like cherries, you should look into the bush cherries, the Romeo and Juliet.
No, Valentine.
Well, there's Valentine and Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yes, okay. We have Romeo dwarf cherries and Valentine dwarf cherries. We only planted them this year, so we'll keep you posted on how well they do, but they'd be something that would be great for, and I'm sure in your climate they probably would do fantastic. Because they were developed in Saskatchewan. Yeah. So they're made for kind of Canadian conditions.
And they don't get very big, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, they're about 4 feet round and 6 feet high. It's like a bush. But I mean, if you watch any of, if you look them up on any of the YouTube videos that are out on that type, you'll see they're picking them like they almost look like a cranberry bush, like your high bush cranberries. That's what they look like. The bush itself, it's about that big. Not,
And the I'm not going to say it right, but the columnar apples are definitely another thing too. I don't know. I haven't found anywhere in Canada to get them yet. I'm sure somebody carries them.
Yeah.
But Jordan has a good video on his that you should check out, because that'd be another thing for a small space.
Yeah, if you could get them.
Yeah.
Be kind of handy. But anyways, lots of big plans, big dreams.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It's going to be years.
Now, we will say too, on the dwarf cherries, for those that are in Canada, we got ours from Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance, if you keep checking them out when the garden center's open in the spring, you'll be able to find them.
They've only had the Romeo and Valentine, though. They didn't have any.
They did have some others.
Oh, did they? Okay.
They did have Juliet, but the Juliet's place, the one I went to, they didn't look very good.
Yeah.
But they're very small. Like, they're usually only
they're
little tiny things. So you kind of can easily miss them.
Yeah, but they are a normal stocked item because we've seen them there multiple times.
Yeah, most
and
years
talked about it. This is just the first year we've done it.
They don't seem to get. Last year I went around and bought quite a few of them, and I went to multiple.
You bought everybody out.
They don't seem to get a lot of them, so it's kind of, if you're gonna check them out. We looked into with shipping and everything. That was definitely still the cheapest way to do it. Was just
going to the Canadian Tire.
Not endorsing anyone thing here, but it worked out to be the cheapest. It just was, you had to be checking, and when we brought them out, be prepared to pick them up, kind of.
Yeah,
because they didn't stay on the shelves very long.
We'll do a video on ours in the spring there, Lori, as to how they've turned out. It says 3 years, isn't it? 3 years for kind of fruit, and then by 5 they're in full production.
Yeah.
And I think we looked into the stats about how many pounds of cherries you got from each one. I'll make sure I'll get that information, and then we'll do a little video, because I do think we looked into what's the type of the species of the tall big cherry tree that we looked into.
Oh, there's the sweet and the sour. Oh, you mean the Stella?
Yeah, the Stella cherry, which is the one that they kind of carry at all the stores, right? Usually.
Well, it's a good cherry.
But for us, we wanted short. We didn't want to have to climb up to harvest them and that sort of thing. So we were trying to keep it simple, and the nice bush was nice. You could make even like a hedgerow with them, which is something that people do. Yeah. But we're going with the hopefully the Saskatoons will kind of create a hedgerow.
Yeah.
But
hello, Celtic Roots Farm.
Hi there. But yes, it's all. It's not quite the new year yet, but we're all in full mode planning and trying to come up with what we want to do and how we're going to do it, because it will come really quick. That's the big thing we've said. It's like,
well, we've basically got 2 months.
2 months, and we're starting peppers.
2 months of real winter, and in that time we'll be starting stuff. But then we'll get into Usually by March, by middle of March, we can start to get back outside working on some projects, depending on the.
Yeah.
Some years you can't, but
yeah.
So we're kind of housebound outside of normal chores for a bit.
Yeah.
Although we got a few little projects we can work on.
Well, it's supposed to be back in Canadian terms. It's supposed to be back above zero here. Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow's supposed to be +2.
Something
so
like
we kind of it seems to be bouncing back and forth with this, like, you get a nice day, then it's a freezing cold day. So we kind of get a few things done. We've got some butchering to do.
Mm-hmm. Not garden related.
Not garden related, but we do have to do it, and then we can really get into the full swing of garden planning.
Mm-hmm.
And they're supposed to get, holy cow.
Oh, wow.
You can keep that, Cassie.
Is the lake frozen, Cassie? Because I imagine if not, that probably has a big effect on the snow. I know that's like Ontario's not frozen. I mean, this is St. Lawrence, but it has a tendency to drop a lot of snow on us. We've stayed warm enough. Okay, it is. So yeah, that's a lot of snow then.
Yeah. So Celtic Roots, you've done the same thing as what we've said with the dwarf trees there, so that you don't have to work for it.
Well, yeah, that's something we looked into on some of the standard varieties. Like our apples here are all
big ones.
Wild apples.
Yeah, they're.
So it's not, and we have a lot of them, so you don't even feel like you have to get all of it because the animals will eat some. But yeah, if we can get dwarf varieties or shorter varieties, at least it's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was something we looked into when we looked into the peaches and we looked at how big they got, and we were like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did buy one peach tree, but it did not survive.
We transplanted it too.
Yeah.
We brought it with us. It was doing really well, and then we brought it with us in the move. It didn't make it.
So we may still try and do another. Holy cow! Newton Yarding's getting lots of snow as well.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Well, we're in a very southern area by Canadian standards, for sure.
Yeah, we kind of lucked out, but so they got Celtic Roots got 30 centimeters 2 weeks ago. They're going to get some more, and I saw Lori was getting rain. I used to live in North Van, so it was definitely rain in the winter. But yeah, still nice out there though. I know I think Lori, you're Vancouver Island, right? But yeah, still very nice country out there too. Oh, yeah. You've not been out there. Right? No, the furthest I've taken Chris is Portage la Prairie in Manitoba. That's the furthest west you've gone.
Although I did find that quite interesting. You're like, why would you come here? And
I know, and you were like, this is neat. I'm like, wait till I take you one day out to the mountains.
I'm sure I would like it.
I know you would. Chris loves the exploring new ecosystems. Is that a way to word it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can drive around anywhere and find little interesting tidbits of stuff. But,
yeah.
It's fun.
But
yeah, we'll have to see how we get along with whether we try to get any fruit trees or not this year. We'd like to, because that's a longer term.
Well, there used to be a guy that sold them for $25 a tree every spring, local. Yeah. So we're kind of hoping that he has them listed again, because that would be great. I kind of begrudge, and you know that they were grown here and dug up rather than, brought in from somewhere and you're paying $70 for them. So, but
we'll see.
Yeah, there's definitely some that we would like, and I'd like to get a couple apple varieties that we know are good ones, so we know what they are, and they're here. Yes, come to the island is the best place. I should have gone to the island when I lived out there.
Yeah, you probably would have liked it.
I would have loved it, yeah. But I was out there for school in Vancouver, and so I was there for a year and quarter, I guess, was around there. But
you see most of Canada then. You've been from coast to coast anyway.
I've not been to Newfoundland.
Well, no, but you've been to the Maritimes.
Yeah, I've done all the way across. Yeah, I guess I drove through Quebec, but I haven't actually stopped because I don't speak French. So it makes me nervous. I know that's silly, but it makes me nervous to stop because I'm worried that I won't be able to understand. So, but the kids still talk about when you guys are coming to visit us. So when the pandemic is over, the kids have plans.
Yeah, it's quite cute.
Yeah. They always are like, we should have. Oh, Alex has big plans of making a big cabin type stay, and she's lovely. But yes, she's excited. So maybe one day it'll come to fruition once COVID's over and everything else. Ambrosia seeds. What's ambrosia?
Is it like ambrosia apple?
Oh, it must be. Yeah, she says they'll never fruit.
If it's apple, they probably will, but it'll take a long time.
Yeah,
most likely.
That's growing from seed. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, there's a term. It's like when you're growing fruit trees from seed, they have to have a certain number of nodes. I think is what they call it, which is basically like the branches. I'm probably going to totally butcher this, but and that's why the clones work so much better, because essentially you're starting from whatever that branch was when you took it off, or whatever that tree was at when you took it off.
Yeah. Wow. We had a friend there that Nicholas didn't. He was growing everything from seed, so
you can certainly.
It just takes a long time.
Well, it's like here, that you can get some really good apples out of it.
We will have to hear this funny story that you're going to share when the pandemic is behind us, because we always enjoy funny stories. Yeah, the funny border story. Yeah. Your son did.
Yeah, that's long distance for sure.
That would definitely be long distance dating. And very well, yeah.
That's really
and it's awkward. It's not like you could just even drive there, really.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but listen.
Yeah. Another thing you can do, it's just as a complete thought. If they get bigger and they haven't fruited, you can use them as rootstock, and you could graft on other apples onto them. It's kind of, you don't know. It could end up being monster trees.
Yeah, that's true.
But like we've thought about doing that too. With you can take the wild apples and use them.
Well, we've got some wild apples that we definitely want to graft onto other things, because like there's that one big old one, beautiful, beautiful, amazing apples, but it's never been tended, and the tree has to be 40 feet tall
and hollow.
And hollow, like it's gonna go. So we've got to graft some off of it, because all the apples are in the top section. And basically, we get them when they fall down and they're bruised and whatever. You eat the part that's not bruised or make applesauce or whatever. But it would be nice to graft that onto some of the other trees, because I don't like the apples on it are, like store-bought apple size. They must be like a Mac of some sort.
It's not a Macintosh type apple. I don't know what it is.
I don't know, but they're really good.
It's close to. The Barn Foundation really isn't there much anymore, but
yeah, but it would have been. There was a Barn Foundation back there.
So who knows?
Yeah,
what it is.
I've never done grafting either, Lori. Have you actually done it?
I've never actually done it. I've come pretty close to actually doing it, and it didn't pan out. But it's definitely. I don't think we'll do it this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah. I think it'd be nice to try it anyways, and do it while the tree is still healthy enough that if we screw up, we can do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
If it doesn't work. But, we did have a great apple season. I mean, To be honest, this season wasn't as good as last year. Last year, like we got this place November 1st, and last year we were still out picking apples in December. It was
there was more apple trees that had set fruit last year. So this year,
but we didn't get the freeze. We didn't get the freeze.
Too, yeah.
The freeze, we had freezing in November, which anything that was still on the trees went to mush. And that's where we had the problem, because we couldn't even harvest for the animals because everything it fell off the tree, or it's still hanging on the tree all mush. Mm-hmm. So I think that's something that really kind of, we got a good harvest over the summer, but we didn't get the fall harvest that we got last year.
But we still got.
Oh, we got a whack load of, we've still got tons and tons of apples, but.
Well, we actually tried, on Christmas, we got out, apple juice that we'd frozen from,
that we'd pressed
out, and, thawed it out, added a little bit of water, and it was really good. It worked. Really it worked fantastic.
Yeah, we froze about 20 liters.
Yeah.
Of concentrated apple juice, so that
you pretty much you're diluting that, so you end up with about 40 by the time you add some water, to it. So it's not bad.
Yeah, yeah. So it was.
The only downside is it does take up a fair bit of freezer space, but
we need another freezer.
Well, we will.
We will. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because this year we didn't have dairy products in the freezer, so that kind of helped. That saved us because we didn't have dairy in the freezer, but. We would definitely need an apple freezer, because I don't think you can. I mean, I know that they have, like, you buy the apple juice on the shelf here. But I don't know what they do to it to make it that you can.
It's something we could look into, but I don't know.
Well, now saying that though, you can the cider part. Like, we didn't do that this year. We did it all as frozen because we wanted it as juice. Mm-hmm. But you can. Heat it and can it to be cider, and then it just sits on the shelf, which we have done in the past years.
Well, I actually did open up. You didn't like it, but we had a can of. It was the apple juice, but it was from a different tree, and it had gone very cidery in the fridge.
Yeah, I'm not a big cider fan.
No, but it was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was. I drank it, and I opened that up.
Well, that had been sitting in the fridge for like 2 months.
Yeah, so I mean, even the juice wouldn't sit like that, but this was thicker. I don't know. It really seems to depend on the apple it comes from.
Yeah. Well, I see Newton said he just got another freezer, which I could see that because you're growing a lot of produce. You've got to put it somewhere.
Well, that's something we find funny because we have friends and family that they're trying to get rid of freezers, and they're just like,
we'll take them.
Why? Why would you get rid of a freezer? They're, I don't know, but we're kind of that mentality. That's a great way to store food. One way to store food.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's kind of where we like the canning. This is a whole other topic, but we like the canning and we like those other methods of preserving, drying, freeze drying, etc. But I always say it to you. We do a lot of things that are kind of more like old-fashioned ways of doing things, sort of. But at the same time, there are certain things where the technology is nice, and a freezer is definitely one of those things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where yes, you could go completely back to the old way, but why would you?
Mm-hmm.
I guess is kind of.
Yeah, there's certain things that have brought good things to you, making it easier, and that. Mm-hmm. This would be. I've got Celtic roots up there. That would be the downfall to the dwarf trees, and that's one reason in the back we're glad that they are all big trees, and we're pruning them actually between the sheep and when we had the goats before. We are pruning off all the bottoms, so all of our big apple trees are all going to be. We'll have to use a ladder and harvest them. Well, but that does save them from the deer.
We've also got the apple picker.
Yeah, on the stick and the. I'm pretty sure I demonstrated in 1 or 2 videos, and it's really well. Oh, it's awful.
I don't do too bad.
Yeah.
It depends what you're doing with it, though, too, because if you are just using them for the juice and that, as long as you can get them, like you say, before the deer get them, they don't have to be perfect because you're pressing it and straining it anyway.
What are you doing?
As long as you kind of know that something hasn't rolled around in them or something like that.
And we did make a lot of applesauce as well. Mm-hmm. We actually I made the apple jelly first, and then made the apples into the sauce after.
Yeah.
I made the apple jelly, and that was quite successful. I think I ended up, I only made about 20 jars this year, but
you could have made
in
more,
future I would probably do more. It was just time.
Time got away from us.
And then it was just kind of everything got,
yeah.
We got onto other projects. But definitely the applesauce is a big one. And then I think, was it down further, you said about the apple wine. We don't make apple wine. I have not gotten, we have all the stuff to make wine. We just haven't figured that out yet. Yeah. But we do make apple liqueur. And we make a lot of apple liqueur. It's just vodka, sugar, and apples. And we
don't drink a lot of it, but
we don't drink a lot, but then saying that, we gave it as Christmas gifts and things like that, so it works out really nice for that. And it's so easy to make. And I think we must have made wine bottles. What did I make? Almost 10 this year, I think. But anyways, I'm trying to touch on everybody's questions and comments.
We don't have hash caps, but it's on our list of things to try. We just kind of have held off.
I think that's a food forest food.
Well, we've held off because we kind of know we'd have to do a bit of a patch.
Don't you go on there.
Go on there and turn it off.
But hey, Jacko's allotment.
Hello.
It was a case of the Hascaps were on the fence on taking up valuable real estate around the home. But I do think I would slowly add a few bushes into the food forest as we go. What's the other thing that we have here? The little mushy berries that are at the back?
Oh, the nana berries.
Nana berries. We have a lot of those, which we wanted to try and make jam this year. We didn't.
Yeah, they taste like bananas. They're really
so that's something that I want to.
No, wild raisins, not nana berry. It's a wild raisin.
Or the wild raisin. Okay. Yeah. Yes. But I'm
going back.
I'm going back. I know, because I'm so far behind. I'm so far behind. Celtic Roots, 5 freezers. Okay, you have us beat. We have 2 plus the 2 fridges with freezers, but we do need about 4, especially when we start getting into having cattle and butchering them. That's going to be interesting. But
the generator is also a good idea.
Yes. Good gardening, tackling canning. Please do. Yes, because you'll love it. Another thing is the fermenting. We've gotten into that this year and love it. So I haven't done a whole lot of videos on that side of things, but you know what? We're like you, first year of video making. So who knows what's to come? Lots is to come.
You can't do it all in 1 year.
No, you can't. I'm going through everybody quick to get caught up here. Generator. We would need to put them in the. Well, yeah, we've got the dilemma. I don't know if anything deer-wise comes right up into our yard. Definitely at the back, we're going to have an issue. Even planting, fruit trees, squash, we figure we're probably okay because they're not really going to touch it. Probably.
We don't have a lot of deer on the property. Well, 3:22 a.m. That's pretty early.
Yes. So whereabouts in the UK are you, Jacko? And I'm going to have to scroll down. You probably have said this in your videos, but I didn't clue into it. I've lived everywhere. But anyways, I lived in Norfolk for almost 2 years. So I'm just curious as to whereabouts you were in the UK. I love the UK way of gardening. We've kind of said we almost want to sort of do a little bit of that version here. And some of the ways that they kept livestock and things like that is always, and I know that's kind of going back to the old traditional English way that I've got storybook romantical disillusions. But
cows look like English cows.
Yes, they do look like English cows. So I will, when I get scrolled down, I'll find out whereabouts you are. Going all the way. Okay, I think I'm almost there. Here we go. I'm chatting. Oh, okay, there. You're more than welcome to chat in the chat. Go for it. I think that's great. And we like kind of watching what you're chatting about too. I'm just going back to see what varieties they have. Honeyberry Hascaps. Okay, so they are growing. Let's get it up here. Borealis and Indigo.
Now with the Hascaps, you have to have more than one variety, if I'm not mistaken, because they're not self-pollinated. I think that was one of the things with them.
Yes,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. Somebody can correct me, but I think I remember reading that. Whereas I know with the, well, I guess the cherries are similar. They did say with the
they did better if you had
multiple varieties.
Multiple varieties, yeah. So it's the same idea. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing for us is the more you look into getting more diversity, the more diversity you have to have on top of that. Well, it's not as easy as just, I'm going to get one tree. You then have to get 4 trees. Or if you're Chris, right, you then have to get 18 trees because that's going to give you the best results. It is. It's true. Yeah. But, okay, Lori, the deer are eating the herbs in the front garden. That, yeah, fence is about the only thing you're going to, and it's kind of funny because we said that before. Like, look where we used to live you were in an area where there was lots of housing. There'd be tons of deer and they'd be nibbling on everything. And yet we were out in the country and I guess there's just so much else for them. They don't come in, but we've not had to worry about it.
Well, here we have very few deer. We've had a few beds we've seen a couple.
Yeah, a little bit back in the apple trees, but not a lot. Not a lot at all.
So West Midlands.
West Midlands Black Country. Okay. Well, I'm going to Google it.
See how
I did not go there, but that's okay. Or maybe I did and I didn't know it. I don't know. I'll have to see in my.
I can't help you with that.
I know you've never been. You've never been anywhere.
Nope.
No, you're one of those. I'd be quite happy in my 100-kilometer bubble.
I can see a lot of birds in 100 kilometers.
Oh, I know you're checking out birds. You can see a lot of birds in the UK that you don't see here.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. That's the fun part of it, going somewhere with you. Celtic Roots has a good point about canning being kind of intimidating, especially pressure canning.
Yes.
You didn't find it too bad because you had canned so much?
Yeah, I'd been regular canning for probably close to 10 years. And then I got a pressure canner. Did we get it last year or the year before? Year before last year. So I've had the pressure canner for 2 years now. And I think the biggest thing with the pressure canning that I found was all the things that I wanted to pressure can were regular recipes. So you were kind of running a gamble and trying to do it pressure canning, I guess, right? So it was learn as you go, but I think it's definitely worth it. Once you start, it's like a slippery slope of you'll have that pantry that needs 20 shelves because you've got so much stuff. We make, all our own ketchup, barbecue sauce, everything. And that's why you need 125 tomato plants in order to be able to grow the tomatoes for all those. But I think everybody in the family, once you tried the homemade ketchup, you couldn't do the store-bought ketchup again. Mm-hmm. It just didn't taste the same.
No, well, it's like everything.
Yeah.
But yes, if you have that, Cassie, that would be awesome. Because we may not do it this year, but it's definitely something we would do in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I've actually never eaten a Haskap, so I don't know what they taste like. Exactly.
We have lots of things that we start growing that we've never tried.
Yeah,
do.
No, I do have a bunch of stuff. That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, I know I like pawpaws, and I'm hoping that they grow well.
Yes. Well, Chris got 11. The pawpaws we started from seed, and you got 11 this year growing, and we're going to order some more seeds to get some more going. Actually. So, Central Neighborhood. Okay. So it wouldn't have been that far out of range. Sorry, I'm going to Jacko where he's telling me where he lives. So, but it's always interesting because in the grand scheme of things, England or UK is so small compared to even Canada, yet you don't. I lived there and never really got anywhere. It was one of those things. It seemed a chore to drive 100 kilometers. But
that is expensive
we're this one here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Wow. Okay. Well, that's still. Is this is the ball pressure canning book or something? Are we back on? Is that what it is?
Yeah. That's a hard book to find though, isn't it?
That's the one that I had you order me for either Christmas or my birthday or something. Mm-hmm. It's a really good one. It has some really, really good recipes in it. And I found it pretty easy to follow. Yeah, very easy to follow. Now, I also got a very easy to use pressure canner. Very basic model. And I think you can get one with all the bells and whistles, but I just found that way intimidating and confusing. I think a lot of people mine's a Presto canner. I mean, it's kind of the cheapy one on the market, and it works fantastic. I love it. So, but I know a lot of people start with that, and then they upgrade to these big fancy ones with all these dials and little bits and whatever, which I haven't figured out yet.
You got to catch up with the chat.
I know, I got to catch up. I talk too much. Hi, Jules.
Hello. And hi, Drops, Family Garden.
Yes, hi, Drops.
We're like way behind in the chat. So
yeah, I'm not sure how far behind we are, but I'm getting there.
We keep talking too much.
Yeah. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're all right. That little down, I said. Okay, here. Let's see here. So he's got the book now. Pressure canning thingy is on order. Oh, there you go. So you're going to be set up and ready
for next year.
So for Shed Wars, we're going to see some of these videos on what you're making out of the garden. Is that?
Sometimes that's fun though, because there's a lot of things you can grow that are very edible, but a lot of people don't know what to do with them. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing, and the one thing I find, well, we've never kept track of how much we grow, so that's another interesting part that's going to be with the
good track.
Yeah, okay, we've never kept real good records of what we grow and produce, but that's one of the things that when you start pressure canning and making all your own sauces and everything, it's amazing how much you have to grow in order to produce it all. So I think that's one of the things that'll be interesting with Shed Wars, because we actually do grow a lot. I don't think we have any concept how much we actually grow.
I'm going to start keeping really good records starting the 1st of January with our chicken eggs, because that's the one thing we are getting right now.
Yeah, the eggs are something that we produce right now.
I'm gonna make spreadsheets on the computer.
Oh, spreadsheets.
That's my plan. I'll be able to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
Well, we did that. We actually want to go through that because we did that with the livestock food. What it cost us.
Yes, we kept amazing records this year for the livestock from January to January 1st to December 31st, sort of thing. So I think it will be interesting to now. I'm still going to keep those records again for another year, but it'll be interesting to make sure that we keep track of the other stuff as well.
I think this is a really good point. It is really interesting to watch how people do things all across the world. Like, that's one of the amazing parts of the internet and things like YouTube, that you can actually do that and share that information, because I say it all the time. It's like, there's, even though we can't grow exactly the same way somebody in Australia does, or pick a country, there's still little tidbits where it's like, oh, I like that, or I like this, or I've never thought of that recipe, or I don't know. We cook all sorts of different things. Like, you make all sorts of different kinds of curries, and I say you do most of the cooking. I can cook, but
you can cook. Someone has to work the normal day job. So I cook and do other things, right?
Yeah.
It's a give and take relationship. But anyways, yeah, it's definitely Sorry, I'm distracted by what's the puzzle? Sorry, you scrolled ahead on the chat and I've missed the puzzle.
Lori's making puzzle.
Oh, Cassie's working on a puzzle. Gotcha. I'm like, what's a puzzle? So Jacko's got some great chili sauce. First time ever. I'm so proud of myself.
Chili sauce is good.
Chili sauce. Chili sauce, like a sweet chili sauce or a hot chili sauce. I know there's a couple different what people call chili sauce, so I'm just curious. I make both, so but you definitely need. Well, and it's neat to see other people's recipes and try different things, because sometimes you get tunnel vision on what's working for you, and then you see somebody else do something and go, oh, well, that actually sounds really good.
Well, we usually do a bit of both. We get the things that we really, really like, and we kind of always do them over and over again every year, and then we have a few things that
we try something
we
different.
branch out and go, hey, that would be really good
Yeah.
to try. Or
Yeah. Undecided.
Sorry, we're catching
This is
up
that
again.
we're catching up. I know it's terrible. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to put this up because this is here.
Yeah, I would agree. I would second that comment. It's been
the YouTube thing has been, it's been fascinating. You know, we got into it not really knowing what we were getting into, sort of. Mm-hmm. And I think the community that is there is, it's great. I don't think we had any idea. And that being able to bounce ideas off people and also have, you know, things that you didn't think, and it just comes up, and so many like-minded people. I mean, and this is even the lives, like, you know, we didn't even bother with that at first, and then we got into one or two. I think Jules might have been the first live that we actually sat into one of his lives, and we went, actually, you know, this is kind of fun. And then we just kind of went from there, and now it's one of those, who's on live tonight? It's not becoming an addiction. I won't say that. We don't have multiple screens up. If we're in your live, we're in your live, and it's fine. I couldn't manage to keep multiple screens going. It just would not work for me.
No. I can't multitask like that.
No. We done hot and fruity. Very nice. Well, I expect to see recipes on those for next year. But the YouTube community is amazing, I think, and the Shed Wars one is something that we're really getting into and loving. Well, everybody just seems to the I'm going to say the word wrong. Camaraderie, isn't that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we maybe don't quite go into the whole, what do you call the joking part, maybe, but the banter, but. It's going to be really good, and it's going to have a very positive effect for us on keeping track of things.
We're not quite live hoppers, but
no. Well, that's something where what do they call a rave, right? Isn't that what we watched this one gentleman, North Shore Preparedness.
Raids.
Room raids and all these. No, where he's going from they're live hopping. They're prep hop. They're hopping from live to live. After one ends, you just hop to another one, and keep going. Exactly. So, anyways, I don't know if we're quite that committed yet, but
we haven't quite gone to the same level as you have, because you're up pretty late. But I don't know. We've had a few late evenings.
Yes, there's been.
Off and kind of we should have gone to bed an hour ago.
We used to get up and do chores at 9, and now it's like. At 10 o'clock we get out there because it's like we were up late the night before. But the kids are going to be back to school in a few more weeks, and then we'll be
back to normal routine.
I say that they're not in school right now because of the virus stuff, and they closed schools, so who knows. But but
I got for this one.
Oh yeah, you put I was about to do that. I was just reading it. I was proofing it first because yes. Well, after the last chat we were in and the conversations going on, I was looking to see what it was first.
Yes, if anybody has not it out.
Yeah. And I still pick on Guten Gardening and say that he should be doing Shed Wars. But we want to be just so that everybody knows, we want to be on his team if he does. Because if you saw how many sweet potatoes he harvests.
Yes, you've given us a bit of sweet potato envy. Although I can't order them yet, but I did find a Canadian supplier that has the purple flesh sweet potatoes. So I think it's March 15th is when they open up their ordering. So
we're getting on that.
Bookmark them.
Because what kind do you think we have?
I think we have Beauregard. I think, but
they were ones that were given to us years ago, and we've just kind of kept them going, so we don't really know what they are.
Well, we can find out. We just have to talk to the person who got them from.
Yeah.
but I'm kind of excited. I hope we can get the purple ones because I don't know. They look fun from all the recipes that you've done with them. The ice cream and the purple ice cream is pretty cool.
Yeah. The
hello, Voon.
Hi, Voon. We're probably behind because you might have come in a little bit ago. We didn't say hi yet, but we're seeing it now. Cassie, yes, they have virtual school for the first week, I believe. Chris has to put wood in the fire. We can feel it starting to get cold. Virtual school until the 11th, unless something changes on that with the kids. But anyway, so love watching live streams. We plan to do our first live stream after the first of the year. Well, definitely make sure you post, and we will be there. Celtic Roots.
Yes.
It was nerve-wracking the first time. This is our third time now?
I think so.
Third time.
I think it's our third one.
And I know I'm so far behind. Now you've probably missed half of people's comments, and we won't have responded.
Well,
but it's one I couldn't imagine. I admire people that do it on their own because I don't think I could do the.
I'm going to put this one up because we were talking about the Shed Wars, and so we haven't said this, but I think for us, we're not really changing anything. Like, we have to do the grow in a pot. Well, we already do that. If they're doing the gladiator challenges and stuff, which what's going on in the Southern Hemisphere, they're quite interesting, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we have the space, we have the whatever, but we're not going to grow anything different than what we would normally do.
Yeah.
And just kind of leave it at that. So yeah, it's a competition, but I think we're looking at.
But you're like us. You're already doing it, so it's just a matter. And you're even weighing all your stuff when not all of it, but a lot of your stuff you've been weighing on your videos. So I think it wouldn't be too far of a stretch to then just.
But that's just how we're looking at it.
That's for us. That's what we're kind of like. Well, we're doing it. So
and I still agree. I got the wrong one.
It moved.
I was going to put up your
one. The purple one?
Yes, the purple ones. Definitely agree. If anybody hasn't checked out Gluten Gardening's videos with the purple sweet potatoes, they are pretty cool.
Yes, yes. And the purple biscuits.
Yeah, that was a really cool one too. Okay,
sweet potato biscuits. Okay, well, are you reading them as you go?
Yes, because it automatically goes down to the bottom.
Oh, we're behind. We talk too much.
We're gonna catch up.
We're gonna catch up, yeah, right. Perhaps we'll rain barrel for $60 on Amazon. I found that interesting.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is
where I missed something. Where's this? What are they talking about live?
I think Gluten Gardening was talking about.
We got to figure it out. See, now he scrolled ahead really fast.
We missed something important. It jumped ahead on me.
We missed something important.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Cassie, same thing, shorter lockdown. Okay. Well, what did we miss? Gluten Gardening, you can do a live? Sorry, I don't know if that's what we're talking about and we missed it.
I know this is
live Friday, 8 p.m. We can make that work. It's hard. There's a lot on Fridays, but
this is where we're trying to figure out what day works well. What's today? Tuesday?
Yes.
Tuesday kind of works well for us usually. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
We are going to we want to weigh everything because we always have the best of intentions to.
Well, to a point. I mean, if you go harvest a green onion, you're not going to weigh it. But
when do we harvest one green onion?
Yes,
we're going to have a little weigh station.
You're going to go and cut everything for the salad into a bowl and whatever. Anyways, it probably won't be quite that extreme, but yes, I think it will be. Yeah. So where are we here? Central time. So that's 9 our time. That's yeah. That's true, Boone. We do find that Friday nights there's a lot, and then Saturday there isn't as much.
Mm-hmm.
It's it seems that that's kind of the thing going. But it just depends what channels you follow, because I'm sure there's other people doing lives now and we just don't know about them. That's one thing I've never figured out. I don't think you can just search YouTube for lives. You must have to be a subscriber to find out about them. Yeah. I'm guessing. I don't know too much about it, but
our next thing will be figuring out how to do the lives where it's not just us. So we have the other.
Yeah, the using we're doing it on StreamYard and then having it where somebody else can come on with you. But we're kind of intimidated by that one because I know you have to do something with your sound and you have to do stuff.
We'll figure it out.
It's whenever we're watching somebody and then it gets all buzzy and or echoey or whatever, and then it's kind of like but. Yeah. Well, I think the one thing, is they're talking still about the choosing a time, and I do think it's just a case of, you kind of just go with it, and sometimes you don't clash with somebody else, and sometimes you do, and then it's like other times it's like you, for example, we haven't caught you on one of our other ones, but we caught you this time, so it's kind of always different, and it just seems to sort of work. Mm-hmm. But I do think we're leaning towards Tuesdays going at 9 o'clock our time. I think this is the second time now that we've done it. And it works really well for us until summer comes around, and then we're still out in the barn at 9 because it's light. So yeah, then it might be different come, summertime. I don't know. I'm not sure if people still do a whole lot of lives in the summer. We haven't been following it long enough to know, but
we'll figure that out when we get there.
Yeah, this is we definitely try.
Yeah, we need a roster.
Yeah.
This is when everybody.
I need everybody. There has to be like someone needs to start one of those websites where you log in and you can go and see when everybody is, and you can enter your info. Because yeah, it's like Joel says here. There's no perfect time. No. Just do it, and eventually people are figuring it out. So yeah. I think we've kind of settled into the Tuesday. We tried Monday. We tried Wednesday. We liked both, but I think Tuesday is just the one that works better for us. So I do think, I can't remember if Chicken Johnny was also on Tuesday in previous weeks. But anyways, we were trying to be careful not to clash with others and whatnot. But yeah, just go for it. Oh, Cassie's going to start a YouTube channel. Yeah, you should. Because you're just in the starting point of developing your yard and your garden, and why not?
Yeah,
that's what we say. I think you should. We just kind of went for it.
We waited far too long.
Well, we've been months of saying, because we used to watch all the big guys, the Roots and Refuge, Justin Rhodes. I'm not saying we don't occasionally still tune into them, but we just realized our watch time was better spent on
the
smaller channels still give us the same great content and appreciate that we've watched, which I think is good.
One, you're getting exposure to
Night Celtic Roots. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
And we will look forward to your live too. But yes, I think what was I saying before I started talking to Celtic Roots? This is my problem. I get on a tangent.
Waiting too long to start a channel.
Oh yeah, waiting. Yeah, and we should have. We've been watching all these big guys, and we kept saying, "Well, this is what we do. We could do this. We could, So.
Well, our big thing is, for the most part, I mean, the rabbit thing. The rabbit series, we planned it out, but we still were doing it. So everything we film, it's like, this is what we're doing today.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to gardening. What are you at now? You're so close to 1,000. Mm-hmm. What are you at? I know we only have like 9 people in here, so I can't get you to 1,000 probably, but you're so close.
You're so close.
We've been watching and cheering just because we're sad like that. Yay, go! On the other side of the camera. Techie Tuesday? Whoops. Well, I missed something. What's Techie
983.
Tuesday? Oh, getting so close.
That's very close.
That's awesome. Oh, now Cassie's just sub 984. Be good. Oh, this is for starting one. Yes.
Well, you're getting fresh stuff, right? Like that's the one thing about the community too, because the community benefits. Well, I mean, we're coming into some of this, a long way behind others, but and I'm not necessarily just speaking for our involvement, but it benefits from having new people come in because you're getting new ideas and
yeah
on everything from how to grow vegetables to
no, it's really good. So I think that's awesome. Well, I really hope it all works, and I hope, Cassie, I hope you start one. Let us know. We'll be there.
Definitely let us know.
Yeah.
If you do.
Well, I think it's something too. I know there's a lot of US and UK people in here, but it is something that the Canadian side of it is very minimal. Like how many for months we tried to find Canadian.
I think that's just the general Canadian blasé towards things, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of people are doing it, but it's like, I'm not going to start. I'm not going to.
Yeah. So I think it was one of those things. It was very interesting. I mean, as far as big Canadian ones, there was what's the Little Mountain Ranch? Isn't that her name? Little Mountain.
She's the biggest one. Yeah.
She's one of the bigger Canadian ones, and then Wilderstead, which would be up Cassie's way.
Yeah, not well, so far, but a lot closer.
But those are really kind of, and I think there's a couple out in BC. Lori might know more than I do, but I haven't followed the BC ones. But I think there's a couple of good channels out there. There's You Can't Eat the Grass, or Can't Eat the Grass is another good one.
Don't rock on the kid.
Okay,
you're in the rocking chair. That's getting transplanted back.
Sorry, what's Lori? Sorry. Sorry, we're talking. What are we talking here? There's no.
We're back catching up in the chat.
Yeah, we're back trying to figure it out here. So, anything you would like initially? Yeah. So everybody's encouraging you, Cassie. Go for it.
Oh, Dross family garden in here?
Yeah.
I don't see their. Oh, they were in here before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they've been in here. They've been in here for a while. We just saw it's sub to Good Learning, I think is what it's about. Stay with the program. Follow the chat. But anyways, I think we're getting to the point here. We're hitting the 2-hour mark, so I think we're getting kind of close to the end for us.
It's almost 11 here.
Yeah. Yeah. Not that we're, we could still go, but
I think go for a little longer. We're not.
There you go. See, Cassie will have tons of subs before she even gets it set up. We'll all sub now, and that'll give you the motivation.
No, I think it'll be good.
Yeah. So, sorry, I see this comment, but Lori is painting, and I must have missed something. So, what is Lori? Are you painting like a painting like art painting, or are you painting? Anyways, we'll wait for her to think, because I just see this now that people are commenting on her painting. So, or maybe it's something that's going to be in a video. Painting planter pots. Oh, okay, awesome.
A gnome garden. We always kind of wanted to do a gnome garden.
Yeah, well, the kids got me a gnome for Mother's Day, and it got broken in the move. And then we have one that's kind of a family heirloom one that's inside. But I always thought gnome gardens were kind of cool. But yeah, so I think that's cool. We'll watch for them in your videos. The gnome thingies. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's making a video on it. Well, there you go. Goldwood gardening it is. Welcome to the channel. Not sure how that works. But anyways, Yes, we were signing off, and I got distracted by the art and the painting. So, yes, she did. Congrats, Lori, on winning.
Well, hello,
Hi, Micro Farmer.
See, we shouldn't stand up yet.
How are you? We saw you on Jan's. You did a great job. Lori, we were just congratulating her on winning the gift card as well. It was, well, it was an entertaining chat on Simply Jan today. I will say that.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we giggled quite a bit, actually. Mm-hmm. But we were great tonight, yes.
So I guess we kind of didn't go back to our original topic of what people were growing inside.
Well, we kind of touched on it a little bit. We've got some different people in here now that we've not really asked, I guess, that question to. But our original topic was what... Oh, that's Kathy.
Ah.
You're throwing us off. We're trying to figure out who Wildwood Gardening is.
Yeah, you threw us off. But now it makes sense.
Yes, now it all comes together. We've been, sorry, because Micro Farmer just come in, and we were just, and somebody else had too, just saying to Cassie, we've been encouraging her to start a channel because she's just starting out on her gardens, and she's been getting a whole lot of instructional ideas, I guess you could say, in here. So that's awesome. Now we know who it is. We're like, but the picture was, yeah. Anyways, that's what I said, because I'm like, the picture is the same. But did something weird happen that we didn't know about?
How would you? I would have said PG to PG-13.
That was PG-13 because Micro Farmer did a lot of swearing when he started on the thing going, actually, now this is a family friendly, and then there was a whole lot of swearing that came out.
If it wasn't for the comments about...
And then there was a whole lot of comments about, well, I don't know if I should really discuss it, the teats and all that sort of stuff.
I was going to say, if it wasn't for the bag bomb reining it back in, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh.
That would have been...
Definitely PG-13 for sure. No problem, Cassie. Looking forward to seeing what you do.
Certainly.
Yeah, let us know, and we are going to do the seed. I'm going to get organized on that. We do a Canadian seed swap, and I'm not trying to leave out the American and I don't know what the rules are on sending seeds to the UK. Actually, I've not actually Googled that, but we did look into the US thing after talking about the seed swapping that's going on, and it is quite a thing to send seeds across the border. So we were just saying about doing a Canadian one. So we will definitely
not stealing anybody's thunder, just
no, it's just to be
companion.
Yeah, just going to go alongside that one. We're going to do one because that's the way it's going to go. That's why I didn't. Yeah, there was, well, but you know what? I have to say I've definitely seen a lot worse. There's been a lot more, well, I've not seen a lot worse, but people have talked a lot worse on it. So they seem more interested in pulling you if you're playing music you shouldn't than bad language and carrying on. Drops in YouTube jail for a week? Oh boy. Yeah. This is why the chat stuff can get interesting. Yeah. I don't know if I can add channel links.
I think she put it in.
Yeah, she put it in, but it was not as you had to just cut and paste. I don't know. I think that's something, yeah, she's put it in there, but it doesn't actually create as a link, and I don't know how you can fix that or change it.
We probably have to.
We probably have to do something. We haven't figured that part out yet. Sorry, Cassie. And I bet you if you search you right now, I wonder if YouTube's changed your name that quickly that you would search and find you. I'm looking at this, sorry, here. UK is easier. This is for the seeds exchange. Going to draw on New Year's Eve. Well, yeah, I don't know. I've not looked into the UK stuff. I know for us to send to the United States, it says that they need to have a permit to get seeds from us. Mm-hmm. It says it's a free permit. They can get it. It's not a problem, but it's supposed to be done with a permit. So I don't know. We just kind of opted out of any of the seed exchanges going cross-border.
Well, they don't want to really risk losing the seeds somewhere in transit because they confiscate them or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. No, so Jules is, he's saying about what I'd said about the Cassie's. Mm-hmm. If it would have changed that quickly. So that could be why the link doesn't show as a link. I'm not really sure. We only just figured out how to change ours to actually be our channel name instead of a bunch of weird letters and numbers.
Which is really easy. That shows you the level of...
well, we just figured that out. So we were like, 5 months in and didn't do that. We thought the same thing as you, Guten, with the giveaway stuff. Now, the one thing that we'd said does kind of go around it is if you're doing a giveaway that you've already got the subscribers. Like we did our mitten giveaway. We didn't have 200 subscribers, and that was against YouTube policy. But I think if you had the 200 subscribers and just decided to do a giveaway, then it was fine.
Well, and the seed thing we're talking about, it's not actually it's like an exchange. We're like a seed exchange. Yeah.
Well, and the seed exchange would be very different than a prize draw. But he's saying that's like the seed square. You did the seed square giveaway, which I was very sad I didn't win. But that's okay. I'll just have to order one.
Mm-hmm. We can certainly do that.
Yeah, because I love it.
That would help for especially the raised bed stuff.
Yeah, but anyways, we will we'll figure this out for Vassy here because I think it's like what Jules is saying. It takes time to do the change, so I bet you that's probably why it's not working. Yeah. But you have to do it as viewers. Oh, this is the giveaway. I think that's what he's talking about. No. Okay, what is I'm gonna have to look them up for their channel. I definitely want to.
Is it two different? Is that Mallory? Mal?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're talking about Mallory Quebec Homestead. I'm not sure who Nana is though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm guessing it's Mal from Quebec Homestead. She was the one because she had mentioned about not being able to participate in that seed exchange because of the borders. So we were thinking about trying to set something up to do it here as well. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm not sure who Nana is. Something's calling me. There it is.
Mrs. Green Thumb. We'll have to check out
Okay, Mrs. Green Thumb. Okay, we'll look up her.
Yeah.
And do that. This is where I can do it on my phone while I'm adding people as we go here. But yeah, I did not have her, so that's good. Mrs. Green Thumb. Well, that's good then. Maybe we will try and get something sorted on that because I think there'd be enough people interested. She's live right now, Mrs. Green Thumb. Yeah. At least that's what it says, I think. I could be wrong. Maybe I saw that wrong. But anyways, we're just gonna leave that sitting there for a moment and I'll check it out after. It's like using your phone at the breakfast table. So rude.
You were doing it for a good reason.
I was doing it for a good reason. And don't believe anything Nana says about him. Okay, well, we'll keep that in mind when we start catching up on the channel, because I've not looked at them before. So this is good. We're finding new channels and helping new channels, and I think it's great, right?
It's another one of the
perks to the community.
Exactly.
Of YouTube. Cassie, you'll grow no problem. Once you get going, you're going to be flying along. There are a lot of Canadian channels, and now that we've gotten into it, we're finding, how to.
They're hard to find at first.
But yeah, before we were involved with YouTube and understood how to search for them, you could search Canadian homestead or Canadian whatever, and you still got the same big guys at the top all the time. I mean, it was so hard to find the little guy. Well, when I say little, I mean, it's like you say, the Mrs. Green Thumb there is like 2,500 subscribers or something. I don't know. I just quickly looked. But that's not a small channel by any means, but they're still lost behind all the big guys ahead of them.
Hello, doing redneck things off grid.
Hi, doing redneck things. So yeah, Curtis is also. So what's Curtis's? Geez, this one's got lots. I'm gonna have to be watching videos all night so all my subscriptions stick. I don't know the Curtis. It's because you know their names.
That's actually one thing, because we didn't realize how it worked at first when you do the @ and then you put the person's name. It's less the channel name. Sorry, it's less personal, but it's kind of nice when you're in a bigger live, because then you actually can get the person's attention. But at the same time, I always feel bad for not using the person's name. But sometimes it gets very lost in the.
If you think of it drops, let us know, because we definitely really like. Well, we subscribe to a lot now, but definitely interested in some of the Canadian ones and seeing what they're up to and that sort of thing. So that's great. Yeah. Yeah. So that
makes sense.
I think it's, like I say, we did it. We did one. And I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of them that go all the time. That do a lot of them.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know.
So Cassie is saying, is it Curtis Stone? I don't know. Is that the right Curtis? Wait in anticipation. Yes, Curtis Stone. Okay.
Another one to check.
Cassie knows that one. Is it a good one? Should we check it out, Cassie?
And our live has been bombed by another cat.
Yes, another cat. Well, they can't see it because of the writing. True. Yes, Curtis Stone. I'm not sure if this is the same one. I'll have to look. He has some good stuff. Okay. Well, we'll check it out. Ooh. Urban Farm. Okay, so that is the one I'm looking at. He's a very big channel. Where's he in Canada? Huh. I will have to look at that one. Thank you very much for coming in, Jacko. I know it's very, very late night for you. I'm sure, I hope you have a great New Year's and a good start to 2021. And I'm sure we'll probably be seeing you before then in something.
I'm sure.
I'm going to say it now just in case. So have a good night. Okay, so. We just moved to bigger homestead. Hi, Amy. Glad to see you back.
You're back.
We're still here. We've whoa. It's the cat. That's why I blame it on the cat. Yeah. Your toddler alarm's going off, Cassie, at 6. Well, no problem. Thank you very much for popping in to have a visit. It was good to see you. And we all look forward to seeing great and wonderful things from your new channel, Wildwood Gardening. So we expect a video first thing January 1st. Oh, so okay, the Drops is talking about the political stuff as well. That yeah.
That's all right. We don't.
Oh, and is Guten Yarding heading out too? If you're heading out, good night. Thank you very much for coming in. We've taken a lot of your evening, but I hope that everybody that is leaving has a great New Year's, and we will see you in the new year. Another live. We're going to stick probably till the Tuesday at 9.
Yeah, I think
it seems to work for us, and we talk long enough that we usually get everybody at some point. Oh, she has one she can do. She just has to figure out. Well, Chris will send you some info on the editing stuff. He's our editor extraordinaire at Hickory Crop Farm.
Well, I don't know that.
Yeah. Have a great New Year's. Guten Yarding. I expect to see you at 1,000 probably tomorrow. Congrats on that ahead of time.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. That's awesome. You've done it in a very, very short time, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing channel. If you haven't subbed to him, everybody, sub to Guten Yarding.
Yes,
check him out.
Go check him out.
And if you're going to do Saturdays at 8, yes, which is 9 our time, we will be there.
We'll have to do, once we figure out doing the more than one person in the chat, we'll have to do a, what do we call that?
Yeah.
Well, we're both on talking to each other because we'd love to do that. Oh
gosh, you and Guten Yarding would just talk all night. But anyways, have a great night. I see Drops family might be, oh, maybe not, panel. That's what it is, a panel where you have multiple people on.
Yeah, I think those would be good to figure out. Yeah. Nice to figure out some topics.
It's just those things that you got to just do it once so that you can get over the intimidation of it, I think. I think that was our thing with doing our first live, was it was a bit intimidating, and then once you got it done, you were like, okay, it's fine. So, Guten Yarding, you use Zoom. Okay. Do you use Zoom?
No, I never have used Zoom, actually.
I don't know if, we'll figure that out. We got time. Yes, but have a great night. So, anyways, so now I've got a whole bunch of channels that I've got to go and watch and figure out. Yeah, that's the one neat thing about because we got a few from the last live that we were watching. So it becomes quite a thing keeping up with everything. Share a link for others to come up on the panel. Yeah, that's the thing we want to start doing.
We'll have to figure out how to do
that. Yeah, we will figure that out, but
not tonight.
Not tonight, but I think we will for.
We'll have to figure that out
in future, because I think it's an interesting way to go about being able to talk to somebody rather than. I say that without every live we're in. Well, but it is a case of figuring it out. We just need to figure out how to do all the sound stuff.
Yeah, I don't even see a button for it right
now. Yeah. Share screen. Yeah. We'll have to.
Is it the invite button?
Is that what you do?
Or do you actually copy the link from your StreamYard thing?
StreamYard,
because we have no idea.
Has its own panel thing. Yeah, we're looking at, because we're on StreamYard, and underneath our picture, you've got like two people side by side. And then you've got, underneath, you've got where you got mute and stop cam and all those. There's an invite button.
Is that the one that shares the link?
I'm not sure if that's the one. Sorry, say that again. So on StreamYard, in order to get the link, do you have to hit the little invite button at the bottom? Like you've got mute, stop cam, cam mic. Yeah, that's it? Oh, okay. So that's what we do. We hit that. Well, there you go. That's easy then. I think so. Try it. Let's see.
Clipboard.
Copy. Okay. What does that do then? It's telling us to copy it to clipboard. What the heck does that mean? Then you copy the link and post it in the chat.
Oh.
Can I just copy it that way?
Probably.
Okay, we'll see if it works. And then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you have to hit the...
Is that right? No, because see, it didn't show up as a link.
Well, it didn't to us, but maybe it did to... It worked.
But does that show up as a link, though?
So it must have, yeah, because it wouldn't to us because we put it in, right? Look at us getting all technical.
Yeah, but then you've got to be watching it somewhere to see it, don't you?
Oh,
this is,
there.
Oh,
there
okay. Oh, there she is. So she's waving at us. Oh.
Oh, what'd you do?
I don't know what I did.
No, you did something.
Oh, no. Close that. Just close it.
Okay, let's...
You guys are getting us? Okay, here.
So,
okay, we got...
Add to stream.
Adding her.
Okay. It worked.
It worked.
Oh, there's Amy.
It worked.
I'm not going to stay on here long, but now you know how to do it.
Yes, which is pretty
But
awesome.
I thought you had to do something weird with... Or maybe not. Is that right?
I don't know. Sounds fine to me.
Well, of course it sounds fun to us. But does it sound fun just... So can Amy hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay. So then I guess it's fine. Well, that was easy. Thanks for being our guinea pig.
Hey, no problem.
Awesome.
Now we know and we can do it.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm gonna leave.
That's all right, but thank you very much for doing it.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
Now, do we do something for you, or you can just leave?
I can just exit.
Oh, okay. There we go. Look at that. We've done it. Thank you very much, Amy. That was awesome. Now we know.
Very simple.
It's very simple.
And another barrier to...
Yes, another door has opened. That was awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Oh. Now what have we got up here? Preview people first before you let them in. Okay, so that's Job's saying. Sorry, this here.
Yeah, but that
so
makes
that's
sense
so that if there's somebody, because I guess if you post the link, anybody could technically.
But you don't have to let them in.
No. But we let Amy in to say hi. No.
Pretty sure we were safe.
I think it was safe, yeah. But I think I think we should wrap it up for the evening for us.
Yeah, tomorrow morning's gonna come early.
Yes, and we've got stuff we do need to do. Oh, and Jules and Amy, are you guys gonna get back together now? So you can email that link to somebody, she says.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know too.
So the next question, since we have people here, is there any way that you can save the chat so that if people were watching the video on YouTube later, they can see the chat?
Probably, but
we were trying to figure that out, but I don't know if you can if you're in StreamYard. You might have to actually be on YouTube's. I don't know if other people do it or not. He's needy. I guess I'm needy. Well, I suppose it's nice to feel needed occasionally. But then there's clingy.
Like cat clingy?
Yeah, cat clingy. It saves her live chats. Okay.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Well, we'll figure it out because we couldn't figure out how to put the live chat with the, what do you call it? Broadcast? Video? Anyway, that's something else to figure out, but we'll let that happen another day.
One thing at a time.
Yeah. You can keep the invite private so you can select certain people. Okay.
Okay, you can show or hide the chat on replays.
Oh, so you have to edit it in the YouTube studio.
Okay.
Okay. That was good. Okay. Because we've had some people that have watched them and then said they don't understand it because they don't get to see all the questions and stuff. So. Boone likes me. Oh boy, there's going to be a battle over Jules.
This will be, we could turn this into a gladiator challenge.
gladiator challenge of who can woo Jules the best. Which team can win over Jules?
No, it'd just be like a sub challenge
Okay.
between Boone and Amy.
Yeah. Well, but that would work if they're on opposite teams.
Yes, that would.
Yes. So. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming into our lives. Yeah, or live, I guess, not live.
They're working out only
on days. Oh, they're working on a schedule.
start with T.
Hi, Pete. We are up late. We're just about to wrap her up. It's been one of those. We just keep talking.
Yeah, we're good at that.
We are good at that, but there comes a time when, you know, the bed has to come too.
Either that or we won't be up in the morning, and that won't be good.
No, it won't be good. But again, thank you everybody for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you, Amy, for teaching us how to invite people up. Well, everybody was teaching us, but Amy was the guinea pig. And yeah, now we've got a whole bunch more fun stuff that we can do the next time.
The world is opening up.
Yes. Yeah. So have a great night, everyone. If we don't see you in another chat or something before New Year's, have a wonderful New Year's.
Yes.
And we kind of hope that 2021 is going to be a fantastic year.
Oh, I think it will be. It'll start out great.
It starts out great, and I think hopefully it'll keep going great. So thank you again, and have a wonderful night.
Yes, we'll talk to everybody later.
So, end broadcast.